Had some injuries over the weekend, some pretty significant ones, especially with the Braves who were already so depleted. I I'm pouring one out for you tonight, Braves fans, because holy cow, I feel you. Brutal. Ozzy Albies is going to be out 8 weeks with a fractured wrist. Puts him coming back to the team September 16th with like 2 weeks left in the season. He was trying to make a play on a runner stealing second and caught his glove on the guy's shoulder and it fractured his wrist. So that is a bummer, big time loss for the Braves. Just another guy that they're losing because here's another one. Max Fried is headed to the IL. 15-day IL to start with left forearm neuritis. So he's lefty, right? The report didn't say if it was ulnar or radial neuritis. There's a difference. It feels like this is going to be extended. This isn't going to be 2 weeks and he comes back. This could be a big problem for the Braves. So I would expect them to be very active over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, before the trade deadline, because they got some holes to fill if they're gonna contend in the National League. And I was thinking about this too. Like, at what point are you like, we just have so many guys hurt? Like, is it worth making the trades? Like, they brought back Eddie Rosario. He was one of the key pieces that came in and helped them win the World Series. The other one was Jorge Soler. Don't forget, right? Acuna goes down. They lose their entire outfield. They go make some moves, and then they win the World Series with a bunch of fill-ins. I don't know that they can make lightning strike twice, right? But it'll be interesting to see if they try going into the break. Some more injuries. We had Twins Carlos Correa. He's headed to the IL with plantar fasciitis in his right foot. This sucks big time. Anybody who's ever had plantar fasciitis to any degree in your feet, it sucks. It hurts to walk. I actually knew a runner when I was in college. He's a distance runner whose career basically ended because of plantar fasciitis. They just couldn't figure it out. I talked to the trainer and he's like, "We did everything we knew how. We did everything, and we couldn't figure it out." So I hope it doesn't linger, right? Like Carlos Correa playing for the Twins. The Twins are a team that are going to be contending for the wild card of the Central. Could potentially push the Mariners out of the playoffs. But I just like good baseball, is what it comes down to. That's how I've gotten to be as a Mariners fan. You just have to be like, I just like to watch good baseball. So that's a big time bummer. Since Correa left the Astros, actually, I've got to be a pretty big fan of watching that guy. Another Twins injury. Chris Paddock is headed to the IL with a right forearm strain. This could be trouble. We're going to keep an eye on that, see how things go, because that's one of the first things first signs toward Tommy John. So that's not good. Speaking of the Mariners, though, I mentioned the Mariners just a minute ago. My Mariners, Julio Rodriguez, is day to day after spraining his ankle, crashing into the wall. This would have been the catch of the year. Let's look at this, because this would have been an absolutely fantastic catch. I wish he'd held on, but unfortunately he didn't. So Jordan Alvarez is at the plate here, and he smokes this ball to left center field. Julio's going back. That's more center field. Smashes into the wall and then immediately comes down, and he grabs his ankle. And it's like, oh my gosh. I got texts from like 4 people. It's like, I think Julio just ruptured his Achilles. That was the immediate fear, because he came down and immediately grabbed his ankle. It's like, oh no. And of course, as a sports fan, you're just like, apocalyptic injury, always, right? You always immediately think of the worst. Guy gets hit in the hand. Oh no, broken hand. He's out for 3 months. No, he's just gonna be bruised. He's fine. So fortunately, X-rays came back negative, and Julio's day to day with a sprained ankle. So that's encouraging.